So you were actually running your own accounting practice, though, right?
Yeah, it was called Tobin Tax Preparation and Accounting Services, and we did mostly young startups. South Florida, there's no state income tax, and it's very, like advantageous for people that are sort of wealthier to start up businesses. And we saw all different types of businesses, but in Florida, you deal with a lot of housing, a lot of stuff like that. So we did a hardwood flooring company. I mean, I had a lot of plumbers. I had a lot of AC guys.
How did you acquire your accounting senses in your family?
It's weird. I went to a high school, a public Florida high school, which I know we have a rep for not having such great public schools, but in Boca Raton, Spanish River High School has a class that teaches you how to do books, and they have 2 levels of financial accounting, and I was fortunate to take them, and yeah, they make you go through a tax return, and I think if you like it, there's a lot of businesses that are looking for help to do this. So I started off working for a very, very small specialized firm.
This is pre-college, right?
This is basically when I was coming out of high school, when I was first getting into college, yeah, and I started doing all this stuff. But there
so
was
you've been hustling since way back.
I've been doing taxes since I was a young teenager, doing it, earning money since I was probably 19, 20 years old, and then I just grew it from there. But I think music was always in the back of my head as something that I wanted to do, and this was always just kind of a stepping stone to get up here and to be doing this, and I'm thrilled to be doing this.
But it gave you kind of a base business sense, right? Because what I'm realizing is most people who exceed in their industry or exceed within their company, everyone has one specific niche that they're good at. Like whether it's marketing, accounting, or management, or finance. So like accounting for me, terrible. So bad. Like let's just rip through the budget. Let's just get it done. You know what I'm saying? Marketing though, I'm good at that. Abu. He's a computer science guy. Jack, that's my bestie. But have you seen some like your practical business knowledge and accounting transfer over to some of the music stuff you're doing now?
Yeah, I think when you work at a tax firm, you see lots of different types of businesses, and there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of differences. But in the general sense, I think a lot of businesses need the same nurturing and need the same things, and the concert business is no different than that. You have a product, you have customers, both, I guess you could say, internal customers and external customers. You have a group of people that you have to work with. Different ownership kinds of structures, and
You sound depressed just thinking about the old accounting days, man.
It's crazy, man. It was a crazy time, but I think what you said is right. I think I definitely took something from it, and it helped me to kind of understand, even just looking at the statements for the business, looking at how the venue's doing. I think that's such a big thing, but not necessarily something you have to know going into it. I think people who are young, who are looking to get into the business, you don't have to go learn all the financial accounting stuff, but I think the more you do learn with it, the more it'll help you. That stuff is really, really great to know, sure.
So what Lance also was saying is like I'm sure you were growing your own business, right? When you were like 22 to 24 with the accounting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, it's a very rigid business, and then he totally switches completely and gets into like chaos land of booking shows. So was a lot of that off the precipice of just being like just kind of fed up with like the old business?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. And I wasn't looking long term. I was looking short term. It's like, I like doing this. I've kind of hit a point with taxes where I'm not happy. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to Boston. And then I was here and I was playing bass and I liked it. I needed to get back into the business a bit. I started to manage a young band that was only with each other for, a couple of years, and then they broke up. But I think that was a step. And then from that...
Managing around here, venues around here and stuff?
I was managing this small local band called Juice. There's a lot of Juices in Boston throughout the year. There's Just Juice, and there's Juice from Boston College. This was a Juice from Berkeley that kind of split up years ago. But just working with them, I kind of learned, lots about what different clubs need. And when they split up, the clubs were still calling me for shows. Like, do you have any other bands that could do this? And that's sort of the birth of LT Live, where I had to put a name on it. I started to rent rooms.
LLC'd it.
I LLC'd it, sure.
Nice.
But, that's sort of how it sort of came to form. I think it was one foot in front of the other. It was always conscious choices. But when you work a job where, you're not 100% happy, the main thing you're looking for when you step out of that job is to be happy with these next steps that you're taking. And it doesn't mean you're not going to put in the hard work. It just means you want to see the vision. And with concerts, you see the vision. I don't have to tell you. Every time you put on a show, you get that feeling. And if it goes wrong, you get a different kind of feeling, but you still get a feeling and you learn from it. And I knew that that was good. And I think I've been chasing that since the first day. And I'm fortunate that the shows are going well and they're getting bigger, but I still get that feeling. You know, it definitely feels good to be here.
It's a rush. Like, there's nothing like, if you throw a successful event, there's literally nothing like it, man. It's like, oh man, look at all me bleeding out of my eyes, and like, look at all these people that came and had fun.
Yeah, it's not about the ego of that you did something great. I just think you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself, and you watch this whole thing work and you realize that, like, hey, this is a great city, these are great people, this is worth kind of sticking around, this is worth putting all of it into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.